Hello, my name is Natario Gentry. I am doing a speech by Martin Luther King. I Have a Dream. It was originated in from August 1963 during the Civil Rights Movement. I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration of the freedom in the history of our nation. 50 years ago, a great American whose symbol shadows we stand today, signed by the Emancipation Proclamation. The monument that streets is a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who have been seared in the flames of whispering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to the end of the long night of their captivity, but 100 years later, the Negroes are still not free. 100 years later, the Negroes still badly crippled by the martyrs of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negroes lived on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of vast ocean, material prosperity. 100 years later, the Negroes still languish in the corners of American society and find themselves in the exile in their own land. So we come here today to dramatize a shameful condition and assist, and we come to our nation capital to a cash a check when the architects of our republic wrote the magnificent word of construction and the Declaration of Independence. They were signing a promissory note to which every American was to fall heir. This note was promised that all men, yes, black men, as well as white men, would be guaranteed the unalienable right of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. We must forever conduct our struggle on the high planes of dignity and discipline. We must not allow our creative prospect to generate into physical violence. The marvelous new malignant will have engulfed the Negro community must not lead us to distrust all white people. For many of our white brothers are evidenced by the present here today has come to realize that their dignity is tied up with our dignity. We cannot walk alone, and we must make the pledge that shall always march ahead. We cannot turn our backs. There are those who are asking the vote of civil rights when you will be satisfied. We have never satisfied as long as Negroes and the victim of unspeakable honor of police brutality. We cannot never be satisfied as long as our body heavily with the figure of travels cannot gain lodging in the motel or highways and the hotels of our cities. We cannot be satisfied as long as the Negro basic mobility is from a smaller ghetto to a larger one. We cannot never be satisfied as long as children are stripped of their adulthood and robbed of their dignity by signs stating for whites only. We cannot be satisfied as long as Negroes in Mississippi cannot vote and the Negroes in New York believe he has nothing for which to vote. No one will not be satisfied as we not be satisfied until the justice roll down like water and righteousness like a mighty stream. I say to you today, my friend, though, even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I have a dream. It is a deeply rooted American dream. I have a dream that one day nation will rise up, live out the true meaning of creed. We hold the truth to be self-evident that all men are created equally. I have a dream that one day in the red hills of Georgia, son, a former slave and son of former slave owner will be sit down together at a table of brotherhood. I have a dream even though the state of Mississippi, a state swelling with the heat of injustice, swelling in the heat of oppression, will transfer into the arctis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that My 4 little children one day live in a nation where they would not be judged by the color of their skin, by the content of their character. I have a dream that one day in Alabama, with the vicious racists, which is the governor having the lip dripping with the word of and proposition and nullification, one day, right there in American, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with the little white boys and white girls as brothers and sisters. This will be the day when God, all children will be able to sing with a new meaning. My country, 'tis the V, sweet land of liberty, and there to sing. Land my father died, land of the pilgrim's pride, from every mountainside, let freedom ring. And American is be the great nation become true. So, let freedom ring from the hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the highly of Pennsylvania. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the slope of California. But not only did let the freedom ring from the stone mountain of Georgia, let freedom ring look out from the mountains of Tennessee. Let freedom ring from every hills and more hills of Mississippi, from every mountainside, let freedom ring. When we allow freedom to ring, we let the ring from every city and hamlet, from every state and city. We will speed up the day. Black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestant and Catholic will be able to join hands and sing along with the Negro spirit.